I couldn't have done a podcast without you. I would never launch my own podcast.
Neither would
I would have never stayed consistent like this. I would have never pushed so hard. I would have never done a sold-out live show. I would never host a comedy show. 2 sold-out live show. I would have never dressed
One sold-out comedy show.
I could never been 2 broke girls without you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Stand up, girl.
Not break the microphone.
Hey, what's up? I'm MJ.
And I'm Bree.
And we're just a couple of Vegas girls.
Living the not-so-Vegas life.
Yeah, but we're not regular Vegas girls.
We're cool Vegas girls. Kinda.
And this is the Keeping It Casual podcast,
where we talk about everything and nothing all at once. Let's do it.
I like when you sang it out.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love that stupid movie. Oh, that old intro. That
Remember
first
that?
intro. It was so long.
We were just 2 girls sitting in the radio station.
We had no idea what we were doing.
We were like, we're going to start a podcast, and we're just going to talk because you and I can talk for fucking hours.
We were like, we're just going to talk about our bangs.
We're going to talk about
You
our
were still
weekends.
pregnant. No, you had just had Logan.
I had a 6-month-old baby.
A 6-month-year-old?
6-month-year-old baby. Yes, they're all year-olds now. Yeah, 6-month-old baby, and then Vivian was 3. Vivian was exactly the same age Logan is now. She was 3.5.
Jesus.
You know what's weird? When I first had Vivian, when she was about 6 months old, I bought some fucking brand new hybrid turntables. I was
You're like, I'm a DJ Cherry Bomb the shit out of this.
I'm bringing back my DJ Cherry Bomb roots. I'm gonna DJ pool parties. Like, what kind of new mom like spouts off into like, I'm gonna do this whole new thing now? It's definitely an identity crisis. Because then when I had Logan, I'm like, you know what I need to do? A new project. I need a new child, and I need a new fucking big project business adventure. Let's start a podcast.
Well, I mean, theoretically, we were already both trying to start podcasts.
But I had a 6-month-old.
Okay, I had nothing.
Something right after I had the baby, I was like, I need to do something amazing. And
I was just having a lot of sex with my new relationship, and I was like, I gotta talk about this shit somewhere.
We need to talk about sex. and she'd come and have lunch with me at station, and we were so proud because we'd do salads, and everybody brought in fucking shitty food, like Krispy Kreme was popping
Raisin
in.
Canes everywhere.
Ugh, Capriottis, and like,
Always Raisin Canes and Capriottis.
people are living in other places. They're like, what the fuck are those things? It's like hoagies and like
Chicken
fingers and like French fries and donuts every day.
Every
And Bree and I
day.
were like, I'm having my salad.
I'm having a salad.
People were like, fuck you and your salads. They're like, that's right. You can.
Dude, our engineer used to make fun of me. He'd be like, you're so serious about your salads. And I'm like, I am. So cheers.
Cheers.
We're actually drinking alcohol tonight.
Yes, we are having a delicious honeymoon from Trader Joe's.
We're a bottle in, y'all.
It's like $5.99.
We're a bottle in.
And anytime you go to Trader Joe's, if you find the moon alcohol, like,
Yes.
there's like the dark moon, the X moon. There's a few of them.
There's all kinds of moons.
But they're all under $5.
We're
They're
at a bottle
worth it.
in, but I promise you we've not taken any shots, so it's not going to be episode 69.
It's not. What a great episode if you're into anal. If you're curious about anal and how you get it done.
Yeah, we wanted it to be the all-oral episode, and somehow it turned into a lot of anal.
I did. I mean, I feel like there's not a lot of talk about what to do in that department. So,
Yes.
And if you could be honest, if you want to sit down and get into some porn, are you going straight to anal porn? No, that's like educational porn for a woman. You're
But
like,
if you do go straight to anal porn, it's not correct because it's just like a guy ramming an asshole.
No.
And with like, you don't even see him putting the lube on.
no, I mean, we learn a lot from porn. We definitely know that, you know, we go there to get off. But if you want to learn something, you can. You learn blowjob stuff. But that's hot. But if you're like, I need instructional anal stuff, you really need...
Listen to episode 69.
Episode 69, MJ, what are we going to do? I was like, I don't know. We're just going to do our thing. And she's like, no, it's the all-oral episode. I was like, you're right. It absolutely is. Us answering your sexpert questions that were supposed to be to a legit porn star. We're going to try to be your sexperts today, like we are every day.
Oh my God, I love it.
We've talked about it a couple others. That I don't...
That one we went into grave detail to the point where a keeper texted me and was like, hi. I'm at the bank line right now, and the teller heard everything.
You know, it's like putting that thing in the vacuum thing that like sucks it up.
Yeah.
And we're like, just take those beads and win, or just ease them on
Massage the ass.
We were actually talking about that a couple months ago with our girlfriends.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were.
Yeah. We were talking at that new big adult store downtown.
Yes.
But it was so funny.
Yes, yes, we were. We did go into that. Like, we went into
what do you do
Pepper
with
and
that?
we're like, oh, you just shove it. Well, that's for anal sex.
They're like, oh, I never thought of that. I said, yeah, just use the thumbs and do a little massaging outward.
and then you
And then
insert.
slowly. She's like, oh, I never thought of that.
Yes.
It's like cheek massage. Everybody loves a butt massage.
Everybody does.
Get the thumbs involved near the anus.
little knuckle button on the cheeks.
I mean, could we have the 2021
Finale.
could we have the 2021 finale without talking about the most important thing that not almost everybody
Massage.
Exactly. Yeah. Get
We
your
need
head
to
down
talk
the
about
gutter.
massage.
Get your head down the gutter. Massage leads to anal. Tomorrow.
We have a big day tomorrow. We're teaching a sensuality workshop, and we're very excited. There's going to be some
excited.
lap dancing, some
Pole dancing,
pole dancing, some this is how you have sex,
some rosé.
some champs,
We have a Like a Kitten box.
We do.
Full with sensual goodies.
and Joe's Lube. So shout out to Joe's Lube
my
and shout out
God.
to Like a Kitten.
You
Thank you,
guys,
sponsors.
Thank you for the most amazing sponsors who have just like elevated us and given us all the toys so we can just sample them and bring you all the fun things that they offer because they do. They're all important for all of your lives.
So speaking of Like a Kitten and toys, MJ was like, "Oh, we should bring our purrs Like a Kittens," and I was like, "Oh, she's in use. Like we can't bring her anywhere. She's a house cat
She
now.
doesn't leave the room.
She's a house kitty and stays there."
I must have. Okay.
You have an extra one.
I do have an extra one. And how many vibrators do you have? I don't know.
A lot. I have
How
a
many do you
lot.
have?
A lot. I don't count. I've lost count.
Before we started working
Before
with Like a
with
Kitten,
Like a Kitten.
how many did you have?
I had a lot from Alicia.
Me too. My sister-in-law was working at a sex store for like 6 years. So
Let's talk about sex, Alicia.
Yes. Hello, Alicia. She gave us so many cool toys. So she's definitely filled me up. I might have even a couple in there I haven't used yet. There's one that's shaped like a horseshoe. I still don't know what
That's
to
a
do
couple's
with it.
one. So you put one part on the G-spot, one part on the clit, and then Chris can fuck you whilst using it.
It looks more complicated. I think I need some directions.
Show it to me, and I will teach you.
Because I'm like, I don't know what to do with this one.
I know
That's how backlogged I was in vibrators. But now I know so much.
One of the cool things about the U-shaped one,
that
especially
one
if
didn't
it
come with a
remote control.
It didn't come with instructions. She was like, "This is a good one."
Did it come with a remote control? Maybe. So if it has a remote control, next time you and Chris are out, like, go to like the Pinball Hall of Fame museum.
Oh, honey,
or
it's
something.
big. It's not going to fit in my panties. This is like a handheld
Oh no,
device.
I'm thinking like the Wii vibe.
This
like
thing
you.
is like an Xbox controller. I don't know what it is. It's a lot. I have to show you. I have to show
I
you.
wish the keepers could see my face right now. Well, okay, let me just talk about this for a second. Then, if
Yes.
you have the Lalo or the Wii Vibe U-shape one that can fit on the G-spot and on the clit, and it can go in the panties, you put it on and you go somewhere. Give the remote control to your man when he or your partner when they deserve it. And then they can control it while you're... I don't know why I keep going to pinball, but I really... Okay, so there's this bar out here called Emporium that has, like, Addams Family Pinball, and I'm obsessed with it. So, yes, while you're at Emporium Bar, playing Addams Family Pinball, be a little dirty for me. And like, just slide it to your man's hand or your partner's hand. And
It'd
then...
be fun if you were in the same room, right? And they could
Yeah,
watch
like
you.
you're playing skee ball and they're just like at the bar and they can watch you. I'm really into arcade
hot.
games. I don't know what's going on with me right now.
Very playful. I love that idea.
Yes.
But yeah, I feel like if you're in the same room, it would be super fun to be like.
But
have
it has
that
to be
secret
like
between you.
public, and then
Yeah.
it's the secret between you.
Yeah, this thing is a horseshoe shape, and it's the size of a horseshoe as well. I don't know what the fuck it is, but she gave me so many at one time. I was like, I don't know what this one looks. I know what to do with this one.
You're like, this one I understand.
This one looks like a penis. I will use this. I know what it does.
So keepers,
This one has bunny ears. I can do with this one.
I can handle it. Keepers, we started off with the sex for you, but we do have to keeps it real.
Oh, yes.
This is our last episode of the year.
Yes, this is our 2021 finale. And also, this is going to be my last episode. Oh,
Oh god. Yeah, so as of next year, it's just gonna be bankruptcy with Bree.
Bankruptcy with Bree. Yes,
No,
that's going to be the new show.
It's really not.
Free
But it's
legal advice. That'll be actually a Patreon. You'll have to pay for the legal advice.
Okay, so the only reason why we're saying that is because before we turned the mics on, I was like, well, I'm not going to, we were talking about like how we're moving forward and stuff. We've been talking about this for a while. We're still going to be doing our intimacy workshops. We're still going to be a duo. It's just the podcast is going to be me. And I was like, well, I'm not changing it to bankruptcy with Bree where I give people legal advice.
Exactly. And I kind of love it because she did just break down for me chapter 7 and chapter 13 bankruptcy, which I was like, oh, interesting.
You're like, all right.
Basically, chapter 13's for ballers, chapter 7's for the rest of us.
Two broke girls. Carolina Mack should have filed to chapter 7.
Chapter 7, okay, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to be moving it forward. Starting off, it's going to be still once a month because I can't put too much pressure on myself because I'm taking a two woman show into a one woman show.
You're going from morning show to afternoon show. That's
I'm going.
What I told her.
Exactly.
I've done this. It happens. It's good.
Yeah, so
Empowering.
I'm probably going to be doing one episode a month. Patreon, I'm not ready to commit to that yet, but
you can still, like,
yeah.
honestly, we have a year's worth of content on Patreon that we put out. We put out some really fun stuff, oh my God, the sexy stories. If you just want some fun erotica.
that you can use your
like a kitten,
purrs like a
vibrator
kitten.
too. Whew, it was fun. We wrote that together, and it was just a blast. But
Both of them.
we have some really, like, podcast reflections is fun. We listened to a couple of old episodes, and then we went back, and so there's some content there that you can still get your hands on for $5. You can just download the whole backlog. You know,
Honestly, just do it for November and December so you could feel like you're still getting new episodes from us.
there you go.
That's my advice.
Yeah, but always the website's going to be popping.
Yeah.
You know, we built that website, and it's a fucking beast, and it's beautiful. That's also where people can book us for our workshops.
Yeah.
We're going to be hosting live events.
We are doing a 4-year show.
We're doing a fucking 4-year show. If you want to set a good Vegas vacation and come out here for Bree and I's 4-year special, keeping it casual, it's going to be happening.
The weekend of July 17th. It always happens that weekend.
That's right. So
Happy anniversary, ex-boyfriend.
it's going to be... My anniversary is the weekend before, which is hilarious.
He stole our anniversary.
He wishes. He didn't steal shit. He actually gave us amazing content for the first 2 years.
Yeah, he did. Little fucker.
No, we'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah, so I think we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff locally and around Vegas because we've built a really good business out here, and people have brought us in for bachelorette parties and brought us in for little birthday parties, and we've hosted comedy shows. We're hosting events and stuff. So Bree and I are still going to be doing our thing on the streets, but as far as, the podcast, Bree's going to be taking it over full time in the new year.
Yeah, and once the new year starts, I'm going to be taking over full time. I have ideas. I'm going to be a little bit more guest based because I can't talk about bangs by myself for some reason.
You can't. But you can probably drop some shorty episodes.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't have a guest, I already have some ideas. Like, if I don't have guests, that's when I'm really going to catch up on listener emails and stuff and get back in touch with you guys. Don't worry, we're not leaving. It's just
a little shifteroo.
It's just a little shifteroo, and when MJ's ready to come back to me, the door's open.
I will be popping on, definitely.
Yeah.
I can't, stay away from the spotlight. But we've been doing this 3.5 years. And like we said in the beginning, I was a new mom, and for some reason I have to start the biggest new ventures when I'm a new mom. I've always been working. I've been working my whole fucking life, and Chris and I have both worked hard. We've saved money.
Yeah.
We've really buckled down the last this decade.
Yeah.
And especially when we had kids, we really buckled down. And
So
we
you
really
don't need to
started
file a
saving
Chapter
and stuff.
7?
Hell no. That's the goal. Okay. That's the dream. And you know what? If you do, Bree's here for you. And
Bankruptcy
it's all
with
good.
Bree.
It's all good. It's happening, and people are still going on to buy yachts. I hear that's how you actually buy a yacht. You file bankruptcy, and then you can get that yacht at 57% interest. But it's okay. God.
$6 million yacht turns into $10 million.
But anyways, me and Bree have been talking this year, and I've just something has been off with me. I think last year we went so hard. We were doing so many productions. We were doing so many commercials.
Many productions.
We started Patreon. We were doing 7 productions a month. Okay, an episode a week, and it was we had a lot of integrity with the podcast to be like, we're going to start a show. People are going to depend on us to deliver to you weekly, and we fucking did.
We did.
And that is not easy.
No,
because we are working out of the passion and just push of our hearts. And until we started making sponsors, that's until you start making money, until we do events, and we've learned how to do all that stuff. So it took a while to get going, but the fact that we had so much fun and we worked so hard until we actually did start making money and did start getting these outside jobs of the podcast says a lot about our work ethic and what we're willing to put into it.
Yeah, we didn't have a network behind us. Everything we did was us.
And still is, you know.
Yeah.
We've built a company behind this podcast.
Yes.
We are able to book events and do kinds of a lot of cool shit. And you can go to the website if you ever want to do that. But for me personally, I feel like I had to talk to Bree, and this has been such therapy this week. Like I told her, I was like, I'm still gonna have to call you weekly and like dump my shit on you.
I'm like, okay.
I don't have anybody else to talk to about this stuff. But I think with my son being 3.5 now, he's my youngest. You know, I had to work when I had Vivian. I really had to work, and when I got fired, I didn't know what to do but work. So I worked even harder. I feel like I worked harder on the podcast than I did at my job.
Well, you had something to prove.
Yeah, I did have something to prove, and I really and I love to do it, and it was just part of what I did. And now, as being a mom becomes more demanding, and
dude, even when I come over, Logan's like, pay attention to me. I'm like, bro, calm down.
It takes a lot to be a mom, and I will be honest. When I worked before, and I would see like moms of stay-at-home moms, I'd be like, well, it must be nice. You know what I mean? Like, damn, but she doesn't got to get up and go to work. She's just staying home with her kids and stuff. I fully eat all of those words because it is a fucking hard job.
People
that still work, they're like, okay, it's a hard job. You're still not working. But
nope. That's a lie. Because what did I say to you earlier?
You said something beautiful. It just made me feel so good. I had a bit of a cry before we got on the mic. I was like, I like being vulnerable with our listeners, but I also cannot even form a sentence when I'm upset. I'm like,
yeah, no, she was saying she was talking about being a stay-at-home mom, and I said, the one thing with stay-at-home moms is they never get that decompression time, because when you're a working mom, you still get to go chat with the ladies at work and this and this and that. I said, when you're a stay-at-home mom, you talk to a toddler all day long.
You do. And your decompression time is like TV when everybody goes to bed.
TV whenever, or taking a shower, or being able to be like, I'm taking a bubble bath right now. Nobody talk to me.
I'm taking my like a kitten vibrator, and I will be back in an hour.
Yeah,
that's why I'm lusting after all the boys in the Animal Kingdom show. Because
but they're all hot too.
Hot. But I mean, it's like your life is just so your life changes, you know, and it changes big time, and it's extremely demanding. And I feel like right now I'm very blessed to where I don't have to work, and I can have a time with my son. I mean, we still work. We're still going to be doing things, but it's not as a consistent, it's
not a 9 to 5.
Exactly. So, but I'm looking at my son. I'm like, he doesn't even start kindergarten for 2 years. I want to be present.
So that means MJ will be back in 2 years.
That's right. Watch out.
She'll be back full time in 2 years, and I'm taking it over until then.
Botox and all of it. That hot older woman you never saw coming.
I mean, I totally get it too. I mean, like,
Thank you for getting it.
Well, it was funny because when she came to me earlier this year and was like, let's kind of break it down to one episode a month, my first thought was like, maybe we should just take a break for a while. And then I was like, no, let me give it a try. Because we both had really traumatic things happen to us this year. We both lost people that were very special to us.
That takes a lot.
And that kind of made us all both take a pause and like, okay, well, what's important in our lives?
It does, yeah. Even after last year. And last year we were just like, what's important is like doing the things that make you feel normal and keeping the normalcy alive, right? So that's what 100%. And then this year, bigger things, bigger things, more close and personal to each of us individually happened. And we were like, wow, where do I want to focus my energy and attention and give ourselves space to do that. And I think we set ourselves up on this really consistent show, which is beautiful. And we love all of you for you guys keep us going.
Yes, you keepers do. And then like, and what comes to me is like,
it becomes hard to sustain though.
It does. And for me, like, I'm kind of living in a very creative household. So that's why I was like, when she came to me and was like, I can't do this anymore, I was like, do you care if I keep going though?
You have my blessing. I want you to keep going.
Exactly. And we had this conversation and my first thought was like, I don't want to lose my family. Like, don't break up with me.
Oh my God. Yes. You're part of our family. You've been here every Friday for the last 3 years. I mean.
Exactly. My big thing was like, I love you. I love Chris. I love the kids. Like, I was like, this is my family.
Yes.
So I was worried about that, but then once we got over that, it was just like, okay, cool. As long as you've given me your blessing, I'm going to take this in a different way. Yeah. And you gave me an opportunity to take my star power, somewhere else.
Oh my God, breakout podcast superstar right here. I've been on the radio for a long time. I've had time to like have a show and learn producing a show and all this stuff. And when I got with Bree, I was like, oh my God, this girl's a fucking star. Like, shame on the radio stations for like just keeping you in these,
administrative
well,
positions.
but you were like running promotions and running radio station events and all this
I
stuff.
was the fucking promotions coordinator at 19 years old.
But once radio business people get a sniff of like what your intentions are and you're in a different position, they're going to cock block you.
Oh, yeah.
So that's when you just learn what you can and go to another space.
Why I never said my intentions.
Radio 101 secrets, okay?
Sharing secrets.
Which MJ is officially like, after this year, it's back to Nicole, okay? Hello,
shit.
Nicole Cherry. I mean, okay, that's my maiden name, so I guess Nicole.
Well, here's the problem, though. Is like when you do come back, I'm gonna be like, so MJ Nicole.
No, I'll always be MJ in the podcast. But
Okay.
it's just like it's nice to just like go back to my roots. My deep roots are definitely like teaching. I've always like leaned into teaching and teaching creative dance and like movement that inspires and empowers women.
Yeah.
Like I've always really leaned into that. Like whether my dance or fitness classes, whatever, my aim is to empower somebody and to bring out their confidence and just to like remind them that your body is your instrument and it's who you are, and learn how to move it.
And
feel it.
with our workshops, we definitely incorporate some Nicole Cherry fitness. Don't worry.
Definitely. I can't wait for our little bachelorette party tomorrow. We're going to be doing some lap dancing and
breaking
breaking out some like a kitten toys and explaining like some fun tricks you can do with it.
Exactly. And
talking about this sexy, keeping it casual.
Exactly. It's funny because like I started in passion parties when I started in like the sex industry. I guess technically I started in phone sex, but whatever. But passion parties was really where I realized like, oh my God, I love talking to people about sex and teaching people about sex. But passion parties, like I'm selling a product to you. The way we're doing our workshops is like take a passion party, which everybody's kind of been to.
Just want to sell stuff.
And we're not selling you anything.
Right. The aim is to sell.
The aim is to teach from what we're doing.
The aim is to inspire and empower and make you feel comfortable with using that vibrator or having
or the anal beads,
breaking the anal out in your relationship, or just maybe giving your boyfriend a lap dance. Like a lot of people don't know. They think they got to put on a routine and all this stuff. It's just simple moves to keep you comfortable. And Bree and I have talked about this for a long time about doing that. And
we kept
really
saying
fun.
fall. Like earlier this year, we were like, by fall, we're going to start teaching our workshops. And guess what?
It's happening. I know.
Goals.
I love it.
Already sold out.
I love it. And sometimes you realize, when you've built a business and you realize there's so many different avenues it can go. I just realized that the podcast is so important to me and I really love it. But post-production is a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment. And when I'm in something, I'm 100%. I just creativity-wise, like weekly, I'm like, what's next? I'm always like, what's next? And that's just who I am.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of officially check out to grow and to
exactly.
just
And I'm very
do
proud of you
more.
for whatever path you're about to go down. And you like, it's got to be hard to be like, oh, I've got to edit, but then Logan's like, Mommy, make me eggs.
I know, or it's just like, can you get out of here because I have my headphones on? Don't talk to me right now. And it's
You're like, I'm listening to something about anal beads. You can't have eggs right now.
I mean, but I'm so thankful for our listeners because getting your emails and getting your feedback, your reviews, like just even saying like, I fucking laughed at this dumb thing that you said, or this really made me think about my relationship. And like, we're not on here. Bree said something really cool earlier. It's like, we're not on here to just give advice. Like, oh, we have all the answers. We're just here to share what we're going through and how we're learning. And
the realness and messiness of life.
Yeah.
Man.
And I think the fact that people are like, they're not coming to us for this expert advice. They're just coming to us like, what's your tips?
Yeah.
And you got tips too. And you guys have sent us tips. And we've really like learned from your stuff too.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God,
yeah.
We don't share everything, but we do love it.
So now I'm going to ask you,
okay,
because it's your last episode.
Oh,
favorite part of doing this and least favorite part of doing this.
All right. Favorite part of doing this, God, it's you.
I'm legit crying right now, guys.
Nobody has been so supportive.
And she was saying like, I don't want to cry. This bitch made me cry.
It's definitely Bree, and I'm gonna tell you why right now. Because Chris has been supportive as a husband. I mean, that's a fucking
Chris
rock
is our
band.
fucking donor.
Chris is keeping things casual while we actually get out here and do it. But Bree has been somebody I've never has gotten me to be so vulnerable because she's so vulnerable and open and strong like that. And I called her last year when the pandemic was happening. I was like, we're going to die. We're all going to fucking die. You know, like losing my shit. And she was like, we're going to be fine. Like, that's the type of girl Bree is. She takes on so much from everybody. And she has just been the most passionate, fucking hardworking, like I just, if I'm like, I don't know what to do with it, she's like, we're doing this. Like, she just knows how to direct it, and she just knows how to be like, quit fucking overthinking everything. Here's the decision. Like you've been the most amazing partner I've ever had in my life.
When we first started, I was like we're ready, just launch it.
Yeah, like I'm like, no, this and that. Like, nobody has ever balanced me out so well. I mean, I have friends that I've had for since third grade, since ninth grade. I have friends that I've had for years, but you and I we've had this fucking powerful, one of a kind relationship that I just love and cherish.
You're the longest relationship I've been in.
For me to come to you and be like, Bree, I'm overwhelmed because I'm having trouble balancing being a mom and putting all my effort into the podcast because it's what I do. For her to be so gracious and supportive and loving and not taking it personal and actually seeing above it and being like, I know you, I know who you are. It's not because of me. It's because of what you need in your life. And I'm not going to fucking cry because then I won't finish my
Just cry. You made me cry. You better cry.
I'm not crying. And just to share our friendship with everybody, I think that's what I've heard a lot from people. Just like hearing the friendship that we have just makes them feel a part of it because, but I truly believe in you. And I do think I'm not just using fucking fun adjectives, but you are a breakout fucking star and you're smart as fuck. And I couldn't have done a podcast without you. I would never launch my own podcast.
Neither would
I would have never stayed consistent like this. I would have never fucking pushed so hard. I would have never done a sold out live show. I would never host a comedy show. 2 sold out live show. I would never
one sold out comedy show.
I could never been 2 broke girls without you. You know, I just I think this has been my favorite part is just like getting together with my girlfriend every Friday night and fucking talking shit and like getting inspired to talk about relationships and whatever the fuck topic came up that week or what was happening in our friend's life and just I'm just so proud to like have a partner because I've done radio. I've had morning shows. I've worked with partners and I've never been, it's just been a fucking drag. It's been a drag. I was like, I'd rather my own show, you know, but to do something with you and just the grace that you gave me and just like, you can listen to me. You listen to shit that I don't share with the listeners and it's real and it's stuff that's really vulnerable. And I told Bree, I said, I can only be so vulnerable on the podcast. We all have our things that we want to keep in, but I don't think there's anything you don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you know it all.
Yeah.
I'm just so thankful to have you as a partner and to like being able to like take a step back from this and not feel like you're going to be like, this bitch.
No.
This fucking bitch.
No,
you know?
not at all.
I just truly love you. And I believe in you. And I fucking Bankruptcy with Bree would be an awesome podcast.
It would be like 3 episodes and then be like, we're done.
We're not gonna do that to you.
No. God, we're not gonna do that to me.
Yeah. But I really think having you to talk things out with weekly, sometimes you don't even realize it till you're talking. It brings so many things to the surface, and you've made me more vulnerable and honest in my own life, and even in my relationship.
Well, I mean, there have been episodes that we've done that like have brought to life, like, oh, I need to break up with that person. Like,
yeah, right. You're like oh, I'm not.
I heard myself there, and I guess I'm not happy. You know, me giving advice to somebody else and then just being like, oh, I need to swallow my own pill. Yeah. But, okay, so least favorite thing, editing.
Hello, you're doing this with me, okay? Yes, least favorite is editing. Honestly, I'm super creative when it comes to editing. It's like one of those things.
You're really good at it.
You ever been really good at something, but you fucking hate it?
Bankruptcy.
There you go. Like, I'm fucking great at it. I can whip up whipping up a 60-second commercial at the radio station. Piece of cake. Fucking, you're like, God damn, that shit's good. Sounds good. Got the music right. Got the sound right. Everything. It's 60 seconds. When you edit a podcast and it's an hour or a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever the fuck it is, it takes a lot of time. And I put a lot of effort and it's not just that. There's just there's a lot more energy that goes into it. But yeah, the grind of that is my least favorite. But people we've gotten to interview, the conversations we had, and just the growth and like just where it's taken me now, I feel so much more confident to like let go of that ego of like, I have to be doing a fucking show because it's all I've done my last 90 years.
87 years
That's all
of radio.
That's all I fucking know. To let that ego go and just be like, I just want to be a mom right now, guys.
Yeah.
I just want to be a fucking mom. I want to teach my sexy workshops and fucking, and just for a few people. I don't have to have a worldwide audience right now. It's just,
I do.
Yeah.
You will all listen to me.
And it's okay. And it's good. And I love it.
I don't
because
have
you
to. I
can.
just want to.
No, but for me, it took a lot to check my ego.
Yeah.
And this has made me feel confident to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I've done this, and it's good.
And it's good, yeah.
What about, like, for you, though? Your favorite part about,
You.
Oh, don't.
Definitely. I'm not going into it. We've already done it. And the community we've built.
Oh, seriously.
The community
You're going to have to
we've-
go on about that because I just went too much about you.
Yes.
On that one.
It's just insane. These I don't even like to say listeners or anything. You guys are our friends.
I know.
You're our friends we've never met in Luxembourg.
Where are you in Iceland? I'm still wondering. In Korea? Seriously?
But, we get these emails from people that are just opening up about their shitty relationships or, all these things that they're going through. And it's
how
just
a dumb thing we said was not even what they were expecting.
Yeah.
Chris drinking cold, warm beers out of the fucking cooler a week later was one husband's fuck yeah.
Yeah. And our male listeners too in our community. Holy shit. And, the people we've met along the way, Rachel, who was on one of our episodes, is one of my best fucking friends now.
A landing strip.
I don't know. That was the first thing that came
I thought about landing strip, and then I'm like, Hitler? I'm like, what are all these? Jesus
God, your vagina is really serious right now.
I watched Harold and
Can you
Kumar a couple
bedazzle
of
that
times.
shit or not?
Vajazzles.
I have bejazzled before, and it's not my finest moment.
She's amazing, right?
Yeah, and just it's insane to me. Chris Kim, who found us day one. He used to hang out with Frank Sinatra down at the Sands.
Chris in Casino.
He was next to Oscar Goodman in Casino, playing himself, Chris Kim. Yeah.
I'm so old. I knew Frank Sinatra and Oscar Goodman when they were kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You helped him study for the bar exam so he could become a lawyer.
I babysat them. I babysat Frank Sinatra.
God, and just
Jeff does Vegas,
I recently had a request from a listener to send along a few tips for planning a girls' trip to Las Vegas, which is why I reached out to my guests for this episode of the podcast. MJ and Bree are the hosts of the Keeping It Casual podcast, a sex-positive dating and relationship advice podcast based in Las Vegas. They're a lot of fun to listen to, and whenever I check out their show, they'd be talking about all these cool spots that they were hitting in town. So I thought they'd be perfect to help me plan the ultimate girls' Vegas trip.
Introduced us to so many cool people.
Yes.
The girls from My Worst Date.
Yeah.
There you go.
Someone's always cold.
Thank you. That's where I was going to go. I fucking hate being cold. It's never. That's
Okay, because
never
you guys
great.
can't both fit under the faucet
Yeah,
unless you have one of
exactly.
those,
So
like
rain
the
shower
the
setups.
rain shower setup we have in our in our hotel.
Very cool hotel room. I was like, Bree, look at that bathroom shower. We can have sex in
It was
here.
the ultimate sex shower. It had the rain shower head, but it also had the detachable one, so you could
Like my one at the Hard Rock.
Yes,
Yeah,
oh, that's
remember?
right. It was. You had a
Double
sex shower
I
in
did
the Hard
have a
Rock.
sex shower at the Hard Rock.
Side note, stay at the Hard Rock when you go to
Yeah.
Vegas.
Our
Jeff does
boyfriend,
Vegas.
our boyfriend Jake
Podcast
Allen.
boyfriend Jake Gallen is
It is a first.
We're having
date.
a first date. It's kind of like a blind date.
It is.
But we saw his Instagram first.
He stalked me a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just how dating is nowadays.
I might have listened to an episode or two.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. I've been listening to some episodes. I'm
Our
like,
keepers
ooh.
So I was in your mind a little bit, in your head.
Definitely.
That's
I
how I
stalked
like
your
my
I
men.
stalked your IG. I was like, okay. What did you learn from stalking his IG? I was like, oh, he partied. I got way back.
You know what's funny?
Man, there's some good pictures dating back.
There's a lot of abs.
As soon as I looked at his IG, I was like, I could tell he was a frat boy.
Our girls from It's About Damn Crime.
Oh, Your special guest gentleman who's on your podcast, is he one of your boyfriends?
He's my husband.
Your husband?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Scott is your husband.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how long have you guys known each other?
I've known Scott since 8th or 9th grade. But how long have we known you now?
10 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Brittany, did you meet your husband through Justine?
No.
No.
No, they met first, and when I met her, I couldn't stand her.
Isn't that always how it happens?
Yeah.
Brittany and Justine.
Who?
Yes.
Did a podcast for what? Was it 2 years?
I think
3
they did
years?
2 or 3 years, yes.
And then they finally called it quits last year. We were like, no, how could you? What are you doing? They're like, we need a break.
And then at one point, at my birthday party, we were all drunk and we were like, whenever you guys are ready to come back, we got you.
We're like, we're cool.
They were like, we're good, though.
Yeah.
No, for real, we're good.
And she's having a Halloween party in the month and invited us both.
Yeah, I mean, and
Like-
they're coming to my birthday party, too.
I mean, come on. They were
Yeah.
at your last birthday party here in my backyard.
Yeah, that's when we were telling them, like, whenever you guys are ready to come back, we got you. Like, what were we going to do?
Oh, God.
Were we going to edit for them? No.
Oh, yeah. When you make enough on your podcast to just pay editors thousands of dollars.
So when Ben Kissel from last podcast on the left is ready to marry me
Putting
and
it
let
out there in
us
the universe.
join his network, we're ready. Travis Morningstar, would you want to edit our podcast because we're on the network or for free?
All right. I'm going to cut this MP3 and send it to you so you can email it to him. Okay? Just this clip.
I know his girlfriend.
Oh. All right, we'll get it to them. I know. I feel like you've built enough confidence to like do this on your own.
And
I
that's the
know
one
you've
thing.
got
I
this shit.
think when we first started, I hadn't I was already in another project and it just wasn't taking off. And I was like, could I do this on my own? And I was like, no, there's
Yeah,
no way. Now
yeah.
it's like, you know what? I think I can though.
Yeah, same with me. Like I was interviewing people on my phone, and then I was like had other people set up,
Yeah.
and they flaked, and I was like, you have to have somebody that's in this with you.
Yeah, exactly. And because we have our keepers now, it's like, okay, you guys are still going to email me and ask me advice. And if it's something that I don't know how to touch on, I'll bring on a guest that does.
Fuck yeah. And we have a newsletter on the website. So
Yeah.
we do news blasts and stuff. You can just sign up and we'll like send you an email. We can keep you posted on what's happening going forward, and
Our live events and stuff that we're going to be doing.
yeah, and
They're
just-
already sold out, all of them.
They're all sold out. Yes, you'll have to get VIP tickets, which will be the same price.
We
as
will be
regular
at Life is Beautiful next year.
working on this. Things are happening. We built like a company on the side of this.
You know, there's something that my current boss told me. He said, always be quiet about how much money you make and what your next move is. And we were always very quiet about our next move until we were ready to announce it.
True. So for right now, this will be the 2021 finale. Bree is going to be doing some exciting things coming in January. You can go to the Patreon, you go to the
Yes.
website. But before we do that, I can't cut it off without being like, what is your least favorite thing about doing with the podcast?
Oh, that's a good question. Facebook. You know what? No, it wasn't Facebook. It was learning TikTok. Oh. I was like,
You did it.
ah!
I'm checking out. I will not do TikTok.
I remember when TikTok first came out. I'm pretty sure on episodes we were like, we will never be on TikTok, and we are. And guess what, guys? During this finale, during these next few months, guess what? I'll be popping on.
Okay. I got a question for you. What was one of the most random, shocking things that comes to mind when we did the podcast?
Besides when the true crime broke out or the earthquake.
The earthquake always comes to mind. And it's funny, the true crime thing, because I remember a girl in my yoga class next day, she goes, oh my God, you guys are recording? And all of a sudden, the cops showed up in the neighborhood, and it was true crime. She goes, I was like listening. I was like, oh shit, what's going on? We're like, oh my God. Like, she's like, I was so in it. It was so great. I remember that. That was funny. And then a fucking earthquake happened, and I had a mild panic attack. I was like, we're done.
We're like doing this major interview with
Echo.
With fucking Echo, who's one of the dopest local rappers ever.
He's so dope. He was at
Played Life is Beautiful.
But now your destiny is really in your own hands in a lot of ways, especially if you're a musician if there's social media, that means you have a platform, so you can build your own platform, and you can distribute your own music to all the same stores that everybody else is in, and you can, if you learn how to market, that's the thing, you just have to do way more work, but then also you keep all the money.
Yeah.
Which is also a big difference. So the big difference now is artists have more control, and labels still have control over certain things, but you can make a real living outside of that.
And he showed up with his beautiful girlfriend. And here's the thing. He didn't I told her she's totally invited. Just let me know what's
Yeah.
going on. He's like, no, it'll be me. So Chris is making his world famous smash burgers.
And then his vegetarian girlfriend shows up, and we were like,
Oh my God! We're like throwing together the fucking hummus and the veggies and the what did they eat? What do vegetarian people eat?
I was like, don't worry, I'm making a charcuterie vegetarian style. I've got this.
We're like, it's fucking smash burger night. What are you gonna do? But they were great.
Yeah, they were.
They were like the only couple we've had on besides Grace and Chris.
Yes, our
From-
polyamorous couple.
Yes.
What do you think, Chris?
Monogamy don't you down? Every night seeming the same. Try polyamory. It may be for you.
Call your therapist and see if polyamory might be for you.
Readers are standing by. You can help two of them at once.
Okay, guys, I know I've been talking about how I've been having these three-ways. That's who I've been having three-ways with.
So not only did she make a best friend with Rachel from, was it Young, Wild, and Free?
Young and Wild and
For
Free.
Don't Tell Comedy, but also made a dear friend with Grace. But here's the thing. We met Grace at our very first live show.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a bad bitch, and she was super cool. And we just made the best of friends, all of us. And then we had her and her boyfriend on as a polyamorous couple. And then Bree got to
have sex with him. And I promise you guys, it was great. Multiple times we've had sex.
I've heard so much, and I've met Grace, and then I got to meet Chris, and I was like, oh yes,
You were like, good for you.
honey, ladies, whoa, yeah. So yeah, it was fun.
What's a girl to do when she runs out of her favorite Like a Kitten products?
How about a box full of all her most wanted sensual pics with their latest BYOB? Build your own box.
Now you can choose the products that fit your sexual desires. 6 categories with over 60 items to choose from. A $200 value, all for just $69.
Your pick of a toy, beauty product, lube, sexual activity, accessory, and lingerie.
This box is a steal. Head to likeakitten.com and use code KEEPERS20 at checkout for an additional 20% off. Every woman is unique, and your sex toys should be too.
Mix and match your BYOB box today at likeakitten.com, code KEEPERS20.
Biggest lesson learned.
Biggest lesson learned. Oh man.
I'm gonna hit you with the hard-hitting questions. My journalist instincts are coming out tonight.
Biggest lesson learned. That even if you have plans for a conversation, tonight we're going to talk about this, and it goes in a different way, that's one of the biggest, most revealing lessons learned, right? Us coming on to talk about something, and all of a sudden our conversation leans into something else. We're like, oh my God. And then you break up and you're like, I need to break up with my boyfriend. Or
that happened to me.
Or I'm like, I need to fucking quit doing this so much, or this is not working for me. You know, like a lot of realizations when you have, we have a general idea what we want to talk about, and then we go into it. And then I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, holy shit, I just fucking learned so much about myself.
Well, what's funny is like the one episode that we're kind of referencing where I was like giving advice to somebody and then I ended up breaking up with my boyfriend. You were editing it as I texted you, like, just broke up with so-and-so, and you heard it as in that episode.
I was like, I'm mid-edit, and I was like, is she speaking from... I was like, did you do this on Friday? Did you do this the day before we recorded? Because did you foresee this happening?
I hear it.
I think if you're feeling a little jealous of somebody else's relationship and how they're showing up, I think it's like acknowledge the things the way they show up. Like I can look at a friend of mine who, for example, they're always gushing about each other on social media, but there are certain things that I see in my relationship that would never happen in theirs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these are the qualities that matter to me.
Yeah.
Like somebody just trying to showboat our relationship doesn't matter to me. Somebody being home with me and showing up for me and being honest and just giving me their time when I want it. He kisses me goodbye every morning, even if it's 4 a.m. Some mornings I'm like, like he texts me good morning.
Yeah.
I love you, and just the little things. But there's always going to be something that you're like, I wish they would show up for me in this way. But,
and if they're not, then it's time to cut the cord. My biggest lesson learned, I would say, is don't be a drunk asshole at live shows.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, a good friend of ours was like, listen, you guys are fucking awesome. You're funny. You're great, but
stop drinking.
Stop drinking so much. She is like a fit Barbie ballerina. Bar at True Fusion, like the girls wear their yoga stuff, but Jane goes in a straight cat suit and like a sports bra, and it's fierce.
Do you
as
look
hell.
Dirty Dancing?
I mean, yeah.
You're the killer. I love
it. Like,
if you guys
this is who you
remember the
came to,
episode
okay?
that MJ and I talk about going to the comedy show where the girl asks what our friend does for a living, and she's like, "Of course you're a bar instructor." That's our manager, Jane.
Yes, that's right. So spill. What have
you been eating that's bad?
Like,
Tell us. But it was our live shows, because I can honestly say I don't remember our live shows. Except for when we hosted Don't Tell Comedy.
Yeah.
I remember that, but
because we
had learned
not drink.
We were not drinking. And then Erica was like, "We're taking shots of mezcal." And we're like, "Oh, okay."
We said we already had one cocktail. Can we have one more shot? Oh, God.
But I remember that show.
Was our rule.
God, yeah. So definitely, like, wind back on the drinking.
We learned that, like, wine drunk gets you more different than tequila drunk. Wine drunk is all the feelings, and tequila drunk is like, let's talk about anal.
Well, and then, like, I listened back on some of them, even ones that I was like, no, we were fine. Like Jocelyn. I would love to give her personally just a redeeming episode, because we were so drunk in that.
You find a man who loves you, and then he spoils you, and then you forget how to do anything. And then you're trapped.
I just fucking did it.
I did
I
it.
put the Christmas lights on the bushes. He's
I
like,
called the
wow.
phone company by myself.
My ex-boyfriend texted me in a frenzy once because he didn't know how to put oil in his car.
Are we going to have to do another drink? Because you said my ex.
Drink
I
it.
didn't
Whoever's drinking,
necessarily
drink.
mean that ex.
She was still talking negatively about ex, which should still count. Drink.
She was so late.
She was late and we were drunk, and she was like, "I don't really drink, guys." And we were like, "Okay.
You want a White Claw?" Your dress is like, you don't drink? Oh, so you want a White Claw.
And like,
we did have a drinking problem for a minute there. But it was
that was our slutty year. That was our hoe phase.
It was our who cares. This podcast is fun, and it's what we have to do. And then all of a sudden it became a business.
Well, because we went
Motherfuckers
from like
are paying us to do the podcast.
we
We're
went
like,
from we went from like, oh, well, we're working at the radio station, so we can't drink and be on the job at the same time, to, fuck it.
They fucking fired me. I'm doing shots of Fireball through the whole show.
I'm heartbroken. Let's keep drinking.
Yes, and then people were like, "We're going to pay you to do the show,"
and we were like, "Oh,
better keep it a little classier.
we gotta be good. We gotta be good.
We gotta step it up a little bit."
Yeah, man. So I would say, don't get so drunk at your live shows you don't remember them.
All right, the biggest surprise with the. You know what? We have a lot of things planned in this episode. We had nothing planned. We were like, we just have to get on and say what's happening. So this is fun.
Biggest surprise. When we got the email to interview Maite Garcia.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, oh my God.
It's called The Most Beautiful, My Life with Prince. And it was basically my life to meeting Prince at 16 and then keeping a friendship with him until I turned 18 and then working with him, starting a relationship with him after that.
Yeah.
You know, it was beautiful and funny. There were times that, he stole my makeup.
And you know what? I will say, anybody getting an idea to interview Maite Garcia, who was Prince's first wife, she wrote a book about it. It's got to be something that it consumes her identity.
Yeah.
But we gave her the grace to speak about what she was about this day, what she's about now, and then let her reflect on what she wanted to.
Let her reflect on Prince or Tommy Lee.
Some
or
people
whomever.
might be like, "Oh, you got Maite Garcia, so didn't fucking ask all the questions about Prince, didn't get all the juice about Tommy Lee." I think that was an interview we took with a lot of integrity.
Yeah.
We took her as respect because she had just opened an animal rescue and she's doing big things. She's
We
doing her
honestly
dance workshops.
prepared that episode for like a month because we wanted to give her the utmost respect ever.
And we weren't just like, well, how big is Prince's dick? You know what I mean? We just didn't want to come on like that. And you know what? The fact that we made her feel so respect and so open, I bet that's why she opened up about Prince and opened up about Tommy Lee.
Yeah. And
so I'm very proud of that episode.
I am too. And our friends and muses, Shanti and Lynx.
Yeah. So Lynx and I have been really working on Wednesdays. It's called Butt Stuff, Pilates class. Lynx and I
stuff
have
on our show's different.
Yeah.
Lynx told me
when I was hanging out with her once, she was like, "You guys, that episode was perfect." She was like, because you gave her just the platform to speak on what she wanted to. You didn't just go like, tell me everything about Prince.
Yeah, like people, you know, and investigative journalists and people like that, you know, they just want to like make you feel, they want to get a guest, they want to make them feel uncomfortable. And I think we've done a great job of like getting people in here with us and making them have fun. Like people were like, that was so cathartic. That was so like therapeutic. Like,
well,
they're
even
like,
Maite was like, she had to leave and she was like, I'm not ready to go yet. Yeah. Lindsley, look at her. She came back 3 times to us.
Oh, wow. Just really, I mean, one of the OG Pussycat Dolls, like originator. She's so badass.
We have those expectations. I feel like when I'm here in Vegas and he's in LA and we're traveling, it takes a second to like reconnect when you come back. Yeah. It's like you see these movies, like you walk in the door and you're tearing off each other's clothes. And I'm like, that's not how it works. But the truth is like I need to like decompress for a minute and like, you know,
I want to take a shower and wash my hair.
And then let's watch Netflix and
rub my feet and make me laugh, and I am done. I am closed off in a second. It really is. If guys only knew.
That's something that like is another thing to me is like the friends we've made along the way.
Yeah,
I've got to give a shout out to Muses, Shanti and Lynx. I know Shanti's not doing the show anymore, but. They're, you know, Brittany and Justine, we've already brought up, like, our podcast besties. Like, we've made so many, like, Lindsley, oh, my God. She'll, like, message us and be like, hey, I have this new thing. Can I pop on? And we're like, yes, please.
Yes. Our supporters from, like, PR Plus are like...
Michelle and Alyssa, thank you so much.
PR girls out here that just really support us and believe in us and invite us to events. And they're like, I want to hook you up with this celebrity to, like, have an interview with, you know.
And we're like, okay.
We've done, I'm really proud of this, like, platform that we've built because we do it with a lot of integrity, we do it with a lot of respect, a little bit of cocktails, but I think people are like, I like what you're doing. And, you know, we did, when we hosted the Don't Tell comedy show, we had people who were like, you guys were fucking awesome. Like, that was a great little addition to the comedy show that we weren't expecting.
We had comedians coming up to us like, you guys aren't comedians? We were like, no. And I was like, you single?
Are you single or are you in a relationship? Let's talk about it.
And he was like, in a relationship. And I was like, you want to come on the show?
You know, but I think along the way with the show, you really want the most for it. You really want to do the most. And, you know, there's been like ups and downs to where we're like, God, I wish we were here. I wish we were there.
Why aren't we touring the world right now?
You know, I mean, that's the goal. But do we have like a $100,000 producer putting money behind us? Like, hey, ladies, I believe in you. Go
Ben Kissel, come to me.
Well, I was watching the Wu-Tang Clan saga, and I'm like, you know what? This is definitely a lot of fucking... we don't have a cocaine dealer hitting the streets that's fucking dropping mad cash for us to set up everything. You know, we built this from the ground up, and we've built a solid business. The business is continuing with workshops and events. I believe in where it's going, and I'm just so proud of what we built. And
me too.
Everybody that's like supported our Patreons. Is it patrons or Patreons? We'll never know.
The patrons.
We've yet to Google it. We just
our
like
Patreons.
Our patrons.
Our keepers.
Yeah. I mean, just all of you
that give us money.
Supported us. Hey, it's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. I love you guys so much. I mean, I've come to a point with like a few of our keepers, like I'm going to a keeper's wedding next year.
Yeah. Yes.
I've never met her in person, but I'm going to her fucking wedding because she invited me. And I was like, yes.
Shout out to Lauren.
Shout out, Lauren.
All the love, honey.
But it came to a point where like people were so invested in my relationships too. They're like, oh, fuck that guy. Yeah. He broke your heart.
Yeah. I mean, we fucking built merch. We have merch. We have tons of merch.
Please go buy the merch.
Like, it's so
the
funny.
logo's not changing.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so crazy. Like, all the things
it's just going to be my face on it instead. But I'm still keeping the same font and everything. So if you want to buy an OG logo tee, like, please go do that.
Those are classics. I mean, it's a classic.
Exactly.
Logo tee
I cut mine into a crop.
I mean, they all need to go into crops.
Logan wears a logo crop tee.
He does. It looks like an old school football tee.
He does.
Like the old school with the belly shirts, the football players.
But for real, guys, like, I mean, it came to a point where, like, it came to a point, like, the whole family understands it. Like, Logan will see me come over and he'll be like, oh, it's podcast time.
Yeah, podcast day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think after we took it down to a month, we had that big discussion, and I was like, maybe just once a month is going to be what.
And
I
at
can
first, I
handle.
was like, no.
Yeah, she was like, no, girl, we can't. We got
got sponsors. We got this. We got this.
But I'm like, even TV shows take off the summers. You know, they get hiatuses. Like we just built this machine, and we didn't give ourselves time to breathe because we didn't know where to do that. And I think right now is our time to breathe.
Yeah.
And I think if you are going to start a podcast, what would be some of your advice that you would give to somebody?
Make sure you have episodes banked. It's not going to be perfect, so just launch it. The only reason why I say make sure you have episodes banked is because if you don't have a few episodes done and you're just like, okay, we recorded an episode, boom, here we go, you're not gonna do that next episode. You know what I mean?
You need to build that consistency.
You need to build that consistency. And if you're working with a partner, make sure you have a partner that you can work with, because I mean, we've interviewed people who have podcasts that are like, well, I started with a partner, but they kind of bailed on me, so I had to figure out how to do it on my own.
Yeah. We've talked to a lot of people that have had failed podcasts or
Yeah.
just started and then just like let it go or whatever, but we've built a business out of
Yeah.
this on the back end. So it's something to me to where like it's a podcast. It's also we have a business on the side where we teach workshops.
Yeah.
We do hosting. So there's a lot of things that we've launched from this, and it's okay to step back a little bit and be like, the podcast is the vessel, but it's also just a part of what we're doing. And so that's kind of cool. I think if I had any advice to somebody, I would say I never understood why people do these things where they're like, oh, it's season 1, season 2.
Oh, yeah. Why are you seasoning it?
So, but now I kind of get it. Like, say you want to do a podcast and you're like, season 1 is these 8 episodes. And then I take off 2 months. And then season 2 is these 8 episodes. And that, you know what I mean? But have that as a plan in the beginning. For us, we never heard of seasons. We were just like, podcasting is how you, I mean, it was 2018 when we started. So it was like, podcasting is like, you fucking get on and you go weekly. Because those are the kind of shows we listened to and what we respected and we were liked. But for me as an editor and as, you know, post-production, I think it's something that you really love and you want to keep consistent. Give yourself a little bit more slack unless you're ready to fucking go all in. If you're ready to fucking go all in, then you do it and you keep it consistent. You know what I mean? Otherwise, stick to a consistency you can handle. If it's not weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, but also maybe do a fucking season.
Yeah.
Maybe you pick like, I'm going to release this many episodes and I'm going to take a break, but be open with your listeners about what you're delivering.
Yeah.
And follow through. Get the fuck out of here. Was it a garbage truck? It's 8 o'clock at night.
I think they're drag racing. Okay. So, which guest taught you the most valuable lesson, and what was that lesson?
Ooh, God.
Getting deep.
Lindsley Allen, that whiskey's not so bad if it's honey whiskey.
Okay.
But, yeah, go ahead. Then I might think of something.
Lindsley actually, she's not like the deepest lesson I learned. I'll get into that in a second. But she taught me that like, you don't have to rush into stuff. You can take things slow. But the deepest lesson I learned, I'm going to have to say, was from Jocelyn Sharp when she was like, this is the type of guy you date and this is why you date them. So stop that.
Chasing the fire.
Chasing the lightning bolts when you should be chasing butterflies.
Yeah.
And guess what? I haven't chased a lightning bolt since, you guys.
I don't know. That's a deep question. We've had so many amazing guests. I would hate to put any of them aside. I learned a lot from
all of them. I've learned
was
something.
One of my favorites because that's my roots is like sensual dance and being
Yeah.
a pussycat doll. I was like, oh my God.
I know. What was so funny, I was like, I remember when I called you because I was talking to one of our PR friends and I was like, so I know it's last minute, but we have to go to the show on Friday night and we have to make Chris understand that we have to be there. And you were like, what? And I was like, she was a pussycat doll. And you're like, I don't care, I'm in.
Stop all the press. I'm coming to the show.
Yeah, Lindsley taught me how to just own who I am as a sexual being. Yeah. I will say this. Michelle taught me that you don't have to be famous to have the most downloaded episode.
Oh my God. You guys, our episode Boats and Hoes, to this day.
You don't even have to have the most clever name to be the most downloaded
It's
episode.
like 4,000 downloads a month.
We're like,
it's like the most downloaded episode of all time. What was yours?
I think probably Samantha.
You are very Samantha. I love it.
Was anybody Carrie?
I think I'm a Carrie. You call me your Carrie Bradshaw.
You are a bit of Carrie. You're very couldn't help but wondering.
I'm probably oddly cross between Charlotte and Samantha.
I don't see any Charlotte in you at all.
I feel like with her BDSM test, she was like, fuck, I'm a little Charlotte. And I'm talking like it was released a year and a half ago. It continues to get at least like $4,000 downloads a month. It's so great. And I just love Michelle so much.
I do
she's
too.
A powerhouse. And
yes.
She's a queen of Vegas. And it was just so great. God, we've had so many guests. This is almost 150 episodes.
It's true. Echo Kelsey.
Yeah. 49.
We're at like 149. Don't worry. Echo, Kelsey, and Jake taught me we don't have to drink to have good interviews.
Thank you about that. Echo was sober, so was Kelsey, and so was Jake. That's great.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes. Chris Kim taught me that you can interview your fans.
That was so great.
And that he can bring gasoline to us.
Hey, Jeff Does Vegas taught us that, like, when we need a break, we can release an episode that somebody interviewed us on.
Yes. That was great. God, we've had so many guests, too. I'm like, who have we interviewed?
I don't even want to miss anybody.
Natalia taught us that it's okay to talk shit about people sometimes.
It's okay to be vulnerable about your actual current relationship.
Because you need stars, and we don't have stars. We don't have HBO. So I call the cable company. I'm like, hi, I just wanted to add stars to my package. And the guy goes, oh, you want to watch Power, huh? I'm like, damn, is it that obvious? Do I sound like somebody that only wants stars to watch Power?
Because she was talking, she's like, my husband and this and that. That was funny.
Yeah, it was.
Funny. She was so great.
Oh, my God. We've had so many good episodes. Sean Tempesta taught me it's okay to use the word poop.
What's something that drove you crazy when you first moved in together?
Oh, man. God, this is going to get me in so much trouble. God. I think the first one was I saw that the toilet paper was put in, but it was not over; it was under, and that was like the first. That was the first one. Recurring one is just the how the dishwasher's like loaded. I'm not an OCD guy, but for whatever reason. That one bothers me a lot, and I don't know why. I don't even care. But
because you want the dishes to be clean, and if you don't put them in the right way, they don't get cleaned properly.
Yeah, you're cleaning the back of the plate.
I got one. Okay, Steph McKenzie taught me about when you're struggling, when you're busy with kids and work and all the things and trying to sustain a relationship and a marriage and all that. She's like, get your fucking quickies on.
She's getting all the quickies.
I am.
She's like, look at how happy she is. She's like, I'm not trying to brag about my sex. Like,
we talk to a lot of women, especially in relationships, that are like, I don't even know how to get back to that place.
You have to just think about something that you really like, and what is it that you love about that partner that you're with? Mm-hmm. What is it that you loved about them? Mm-hmm. And they have needs too. Mm-hmm. Quit being so selfish.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I think in our heads we're like, it's got to be this 20-minute thing, and if I don't have an orgasm, they're not going to be happy, and if I don't do this, it's not going to be this. Just do it.
Vanya did too.
Yes.
Vanya and Steph McKenzie were like, it's okay if it's only 4 minutes. You just leave coconut. Like Vanya was like, just leave coconut oil around the house. You'll be fine.
I love that. But it's also important to carve out that one-on-one time for a partner. So what are some ways that you guys are able to connect with having a newborn?
Little Raven may be going to bed at 7, 8 o'clock, and if I can stay up till 9, then it's game on. And we have, I don't see it right now, but we do have a little coconut oil, and that's been really awesome. So having coconut oil in every room, maybe some condoms, because we don't need another Raven. Condoms sprinkled everywhere.
Yes, get your fucking quickies on. Sometimes we get so stressed, you're like, oh, we haven't had time to connect because the kids are here. It's like, that's not a fucking excuse. Give me your dick for 5 minutes. We're getting fucked. Because I need it. Sometimes it's just like, oh, okay, I'm revived. Sometimes it's all you need. And it's true. When you're in these long-term relationships, you just need a fucking quickie. So that was a beautiful lesson I learned. Very simple.
Laura Coronado taught us many a things, but what life is like after divorce.
I hope that they'll get that there is life after divorce and that there's actually a big, beautiful, wonderful life after divorce.
With 27-year-olds who want you to dominate them.
I mean, the sex especially was like a whole new world, like I felt like a Disney princess, So there is life after divorce. You can function, you can flourish, you can grow, and you can heal.
Yes, she did.
And she was so beautiful and funny and vulnerable, and I just
she was.
Yes.
I'll say an unintentional guest that
Jane
shared a very God. I love Jane.
Yes.
Jane was like, "Bitches, get your drinking in order."
Yeah. Jane was our one that was like, "Y'all need to stop drinking so much."
She was our manager for a while, living on a beach still.
Yes.
So still off on the beach, floating on a
Jane,
raft
if you
right
want to be
now.
our sugar mama.
Yeah. But an unintentional guest that taught us so many lessons.
Mm-hmm.
My sister.
Yes.
The original Catfish episode.
Yes.
You got to protect yourself.
You do have
And
to protect yourself.
People are out there to take advantage. This is one of those things that scares people off from online dating, I think. This is one of the, but I think there are steps to protect yourself.
Yes.
Number one, I'm going to just say it. Put that picture in a reverse image search. It takes a second.
And I didn't say it was my sister in the episode because I just couldn't put her on blast like that. But like a year later, we did Catfish too. I was like, can we?
She was just at that point. She wasn't heartbroken over it anymore.
No.
She was like, "You guys could say it was me. It's fine."
She saved her friend just a few weeks ago from that catfish. Remember, I told you I need to investigate this guy. She goes, "Oh, he did the whole thing. He was all of a sudden he was like, yeah, I need you to send me some money. Can you open me up a bank account and all this shit?"
Jesus Christ!
And my sister was like, "That's a catfish." So she's grown.
Good for her.
She has like taught people what
She's learned from us.
She just saved her friend from a catfish. So, God, there's so many. I hate to just. We're popping off with these questions. I've been way more researched, but it's very more organic. We could just say what's on our hearts and what really stands out.
To everybody who's been a part of this for the past 3 years, thank you so much.
Yeah.
To everybody who's going to be a part of it, I already appreciate you guys. I have a list of guests that I'm already.
And I'm popping back on. When you have an inspiring topic, you're like, I need you to do this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, and I'm going to edit the episode. That's fucking making me wet.
And I have a list of guests. And guess what, guys? I'm back on Bumble, so I'm going to have hot dating stories, hopefully.
Absolutely.
My entire life is about to turn upside down because, like I said, my living situation is becoming a lot more creative. I have somebody moving in with me who knows video and audio and just all kinds of shit, and he's going to help me.
Give me a TikTok house.
Yeah, it is. We're gonna be an influencer house. So it's not just gonna be makeup by Monique and I. It's gonna be makeup by Monique and I, and then my friend.
Monique's gonna make everyone beautiful, and
I hope she does Alex's makeup. So yeah,
Alex is gonna fucking get the video on point, and Bree's gonna fucking host the show.
Yeah. So Alex, he's a comedian out here, local comedian. Well, I can't say local. He's local in Vegas. Y2 Kool-Aid.
Vegas.
Yeah. Well, he's from Texas originally, but he lives out here now. Y2 Kool-Aid. If you want to follow him, he does Twitch streams and stuff. Yeah. So he's moving in with me, and he's helping me with the video aspect. And I have a list of guests that I've already reached out to that I'm trying to work on for you guys, and
this is not the end. It's just
not
a little
the end.
shift. I'm taking a little back seat, but I'll pop back.
Yeah,
you never know. I'm just gonna
Exactly.
be like, all of a sudden this week it's me because I'll be like, I need some spotlight time.
Exactly.
Bring me in,
and I'll be like, you ready to come back full time?
Can't do any of the work.
You ready to come back full time?
I just want to be third mic.
I will let you be third mic and come back full time. I don't care. I need somebody to talk about bangs with.
But I still need somebody to call weekly and dish my shit
Exactly.
on.
And
I swear to God, you did save me through the pandemic.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm going to the shooting range tomorrow. We're getting a Great Dane. I need the big dog to ride into the apocalypse. Like I was losing my mind for a minute.
She was, and I was like, can we just focus on her website?
Can you just focus, build the website, and you'll be fine. I'm like, okay. Shit together.
And guys, I will still be that friend. Keepers, I will still be that friend to all of you.
Yes.
Unload your shit on me because it helps me from not facing my own reality.
That's not the truth. But I'm here too. You can always find me at MJ Radio Diva.
And she still has the password to our Instagram, so she can still respond to you.
I can still do stuff. And I got a website. It's NicoleJerry.net.
Yes.
MJRadioDiva.com. And
yes.
I don't know, whatever the fuck else I want to call it.
Yeah, I actually okay, so I have to talk about this. So last weekend I went to a live podcast. She had told me I need to take a step back, and I was like, girl, I got you, don't worry. And then I was getting ready to go to this big live podcast. Ben Kissel, hi.
Was it?
Last podcast on the left at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And
we're in the middle of Trader Joe's just earlier today, grabbing our wine. And she's like, last week when I was kind of drunk and I was in the cemetery, and people were like, what? And she's telling me she ate these delicious cookies.
But I was what a fucking weird way to start
there were a couple of carts that just froze for a minute. We're like,
And I was like, yes, I'm your manic pixie dream girl. Don't worry. I get drunk in cemeteries and listen to a jagged little pill for an hour. Bye.
Drunk in the cemetery. Last week when I was drunk at the cemetery, I mean, I was like, oh, well, these pumpkin cookies really did it.
And that's what I said. I was like, Rachel kept feeding me these pumpkin cookies and they were delightful.
Oh my gosh. Can we just say your birthday's coming up?
My birthday's coming up. Birthday month. Pew, pew, pew. This actually, my birthday will have already happened by the time this episode drops. So my party was so fun. Thank you. Wee.
We're still 33 in this episode.
Exactly. So I'm at this live podcast event and I was like, no, this is what I love. I'm okay continuing doing it. But I met my friend Nicole. I met her boyfriend Danny, who's like fucking toured with the Jonas Brothers. I want to get him on and talk about like life on the road and stuff.
Get him on.
Yeah.
Do it.
Anyways, I was telling him, I was like, because she was like, this is my friend. She does this podcast, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, we're having a little bit of shift. And he was just like, I had just met him for the first time. And he was like, I believe in you. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, that's when it really just hit. Like, I can fucking do this.
Fuck yeah, you can. He's in the business. He believes in the business. Yeah. I believe in the business. I believe in you. Yeah. I believe that my attention fully and mostly has to be to these children and to my husband. Like, that's the only thing.
She has to make scrambled eggs, guys.
Just made a scrambled egg.
Sorry, the only reason why I keep talking about eggs is I was like, I gotta pee before we're recording. I came out and Logan was like, Mommy, I want scrambled eggs. Like, that's the only reason why. I know she does way more than that, but it's just kind of what happened before.
Egg, then you get a cupcake. Okay, you're gonna eat something healthy before you get the fucking cupcake.
He was like, I don't want pizza, even though I want pizza every other night.
I know he'll eat an egg. I'm like, that's fucking. There's some substance you're good. Yeah, I just God, it's been hard though.
It's because you have two children that can talk to you now. At least when we first started, Logan couldn't tell you.
Still, I had one kid, yeah, and I still had a job, and I was still distracted with all of my ambitions and my this and this and this and this. And now I kind of just want to be a mom and take a little back seat and chill and focus on them.
And honestly, I will say this: Chris was like, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" When you brought this up to him, he was like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah,
because you have my support.
He does, and he's never once made me feel like he doesn't. He's never once made me feel like, ugh, I watch the kids again because
when I come over here, he's never like, oh, he's like, are you guys gonna do this or like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, he's like, are you ready or what? Like he has been so supportive. If I had a man
like Chris, you do.
No. If I had a man that got fired from his job, was like, I'm gonna stay at home dad. I'm gonna start my podcast. I'll be like, motherfucker, you better get a job. Get your shit together.
I'd be like, I'm doing my Twitch channel right now, guys. No big deal. And you'd be like, you are not.
How
actually
fucking double-sided with that conversation be? They'd be like, what's your husband doing? I'd be like, oh, he stays home and he does this podcast. They'd be like, oh, like why is it so bad for a man to do that?
You know what? I disagree with that because my dad was a stay-at-home dad when I was growing up.
That's beautiful, but I feel like for me, I would be a total opposite monster to him. I'd be like, get your shit together.
You know what's funny is what's funny is like I say that I'd be like, I have to have a man that works and does this and does that, but like once upon a time, your girl Bree here had this wild one-night stand with this guy from Australia. I've talked about him. He looks like James Franco and has the biggest dick I've ever seen in my life. We had the most banging sex and then we cuddled and watched Glee.
I remember.
After he cleaned me off with a washcloth.
Deep in the episodes.
You'll find it. I don't even know what episode it was, but I've talked about him before. He told me once, he was like, you're a career woman. And I said, yes, I am. He goes, you're going to end up with somebody who he's like somebody like me. Mm-hmm. Maybe I gig at night. Maybe I do this, but I bring in my own money to support myself. He goes, but I'll be the one staying at home with the kids.
I can honestly weirdly say that.
About me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I've always been a career woman, but I've been a more creative queer woman.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that if it's not my way.
Yeah.
I'm like me being a paralegal, could you imagine? I'm like, no, I've made my own spreadsheet, my own chart, and I feel like there's a lot of gray area here, and they're like, no, it's law.
It's law. This is the law, woman.
I feel like I could not be that type of person. So Yeah. You have a more logical, like...
But I'm super creative at the same time. I'm like logically creative. It doesn't make any sense.
No, absolutely. But you have that balance that I don't have. Like, we have this balance.
We do.
I see that totally. You could be like...
He was like, you're going to be the one to, like, off making the most money.
It's also because of the guys you like.
Excuse me. My last relationship, he made a lot more money than I did, and he was a lot more successful in his career than I ever have been.
True, but we moved on.
Just as I've moved on from all of them.
No, but I...
Actually, he and I are still friends. We hung out recently.
That is fucking really cool, and I love that happened. But you're a fucking boss, though, and
I'm a boss ass bitch.
You know what? Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a stay-at-home dad, it doesn't matter.
No.
I'm just being like, kind of like, would I be as supportive to Chris as he was to me?
No,
probably not, because this type of person.
No, but you know what?
People always strive to be.
When you and Chris first dated, he was in kind of a low place, and you were like, "Get your shit together, or you won't be with me."
That's the truth. That is the absolute truth.
And you know what? My brother and Chris are actually very similar people. And my brother's girlfriend kind of did the same thing to him. She was like, get your shit together or we're not going to be together.
Yep. I am that woman. I'm like, you need to be able. But I never expected this shift. I never expected to be a stay-at-home mom. Never in my life. They had to fire me and kick me out of the radio station at first place.
And you were like, no!
Yeah, I'm going to keep dropping that one. I was like, what? You're firing me? Do you know who I am? I mean, have you seen my ratings? Do you know who I am? Like the ego.
That's okay. The man who fired you got fired too.
He did get fired. We'll throw that one in there. No, I'm not bitter anymore. I can now listen to the radio station and not give a shit. It took a long time for me to do that. But,
hey, I've seen my ex in public and been like, what's up, bro?
You know, I'm trying to be a bigger person. I'm trying to grow into a person to where, like, I can see my ex and be like, what's up, bro? Not like, fuck you. You know, like, I've grown a lot doing this show. I've grown out of a lot of things. I've grown up a lot, and
yeah, you can't wear size 7 shoes anymore.
I know. I'm not 7.5, 8. You know?
We're trying to wrap up this episode, and it just keeps going on because we don't want it to end.
I don't want it to end ever. Like, if I'm going to edit for 8 hours, this will be the one. Talk to muses and talk to Don't Tell Crime and the big
Don't Tell Crime. That's not a podcast.
Oh,
it's about damn crime.
Yeah, the biggest, you know, the hardest part of the show was
the back end of it
with their partner. Was not any of that. It was like there's a lot of work that goes into it.
It's the editing. It's the doing the
really
website.
is.
It's the TikToks. It's the Instagram.
Marketing. It's all of it. Yeah, it's a big project.
If you don't have a network behind you, you're just kind of like. That's why, like, if you look at, like, I'm going to use podcasts that I love, like Guys We Fucked. They were 5 years in and finally taking off. Last podcast on the left, I think they were 5 or 6 years in before they finally quit their day jobs. Now they're 10 years in and they have their own network, and they just recently launched that. Like, not everybody's going to be My Favorite Murder. Within a year, they're like making millions of dollars. And it's like, well, good for them. Like, I love them. I appreciate them. Not every, like, what's the one that you like?
I like Girls Gotta
Eat. Yeah, they took off really, really quick. But
really quick. Very similar content. And I found myself like comparing sometimes. And I'm like, God, these girls are
don't compare us to them.
These are fucking animals. But who knows like how they got their huge start. Because I do remember one episode, she's like, it's not about the downloads, it's about the popularity of the podcast. And it's like, oh, well, you know, when you got a Coke dealer on the street, like spending $100,000 on cash to like get you pumped up and get you started, you gonna launch, you know? Like,
exactly.
A lot of Wu-Tang didn't just come from the streets. They're a bunch of thugs off the street, but they had a big, huge financial backing to like get them started. But I think anybody can do a podcast, but you have to have two things. You have to have
integrity.
Yes. You do have to have integrity. That's a whole... number one, you have to have integrity just to live life. But you have to have passion, and you also have to have the technical skills.
Yeah.
Let's be real. You got to have the business skills.
Yeah.
Whether it's...
Our friend Pat.
3 things. And you don't even have to have money. If you just want to do it for fun because you have a topic or you just you want to put some stuff on the map because iTunes will be there forever.
Yeah.
You have to have technical skills.
Yeah.
Because you have to know how to edit.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to edit and you don't want to learn, don't even fucking bother because it's a huge part of it. You have to learn the technical side of it. And you have to have fucking passion about what you're talking about. Right? What do you think? 2 things.
No, I agree.
2 things besides us. Integrity is just like a life skill.
Fuck.
Have
Damn,
integrity.
you took my integrity one. What do you have to have? You have to have... God, passion is like the number one thing you do need to have. A good microphone.
That's true. You can do it on your fucking, Apple phone if you wanted.
If you have a good microphone, you need to have that. You need to have...
The Zoom HQ.
Creativity.
Yes.
No matter what you're talking about, you could be talking about science. You still have to talk about it in a creative way.
Yeah.
You do need to have some sort of creativity.
You need swag.
You need swag. You need a good microphone and creativity. No, good microphone is a terrible idea. You need creativity, and you need to, like, even when we started, we were like, we're just going to talk about whatever, but we always talked about, like, sex, dating, and relationships. You need to have a topic.
You need to have a niche.
You need to have a niche.
Yeah. Even if we sat down tonight, we're going to talk about, this is our last episode of the year.
We talked about anal for you guys.
This was the most genuine, comfortable, let's just talk about whatever.
Yeah.
But you got to come on with some kind of direction.
Yeah.
Here's our topic. Let's dance around it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Have some direction. Don't just, I've heard plots because they get on there like, cheers, I don't know. Maybe we sound like that in a couple episodes.
We probably have.
But we have always come with some kind of plan.
Yeah. I mean, guys, I believe in all of you, and thank you for believing in us, and thank you for being such an amazing partner.
Stop. Thank you for being amazing.
Thank you. And I have plans for you all.
Mm-hmm. I think we want to encourage and not discourage, but also want to give you some of the things to think about if you are going to start a podcast. We did this 3.5 years. Oh, so proud of it.
I am too.
Built many side businesses off of it that are going to continue to grow.
I mean, I feel like we helped Shawnee. We helped Kinetic. We helped a lot of things. Yeah.
Yes. TSL.
Yeah.
TSL Click. Amazing photography.
He's about to do my solo photo shoot for Keeping It Casual with Brianna Nicole.
Lashes by Jan.
Aww.
Makeup by Monique.
Yes.
Horn highlights. We've launched a lot of people that were getting their things started, and I'm glad I didn't cry. I've cried in the break episode.
You made me cry, but you're glad you didn't cry.
That's what you get.
I'm mad.
It's good.
I'm mad at you.
It's good. I'm glad I didn't cry because I'm telling you, I just can't form a sentence. Cried in the Broke episode. I got really choked up in the Catfish episode because it was my sister. I was really fucking angry. I wanted to beat somebody up. You don't fuck with my little sister, man.
Our Brittany episode.
Good Lord. Oh.
That one, that was a short episode. It was probably like 5 minutes, but you did cry in that one.
She was supposed to be on. And, oh my God, now you're going to make me cry. What the heck?
I would say that this entire, ever since Brittany left us, everything we've done has been kind of a little bit in honor of her.
I think so. I think it was just like somebody just realizing just young, beautiful people in our life that just, they just don't see another way out.
Yeah.
So keep your friends close, and
we're all going through something.
We are really, especially the ones that seem the strongest. And, even if you haven't talked to that friend in 5 months because you're like, this chick hasn't called me. Have you called her?
Yeah.
Maybe it's been once. Do it twice. Do it 3
Maybe
times.
they block you.
Maybe you just got to go poke them. Maybe you just got to drive up and knock at their door. I don't know. What are they going to say? Go away? He's like, whatever. I checked on you.
Yeah.
I love you. I care about you.
Yeah.
But, why'd you do that? She's trying to break me. She's trying to break me right now. I won't break because I did it super hard before. I was like, okay, look, let's just come over. We're going to have some wine. We'll just record quick. And then,
I was like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh, my God. I had a full-on breakdown before we cracked the mic. And I was like, I can't get on here and talk to you.
But she made me fucking cry.
When I'm like full-on fucking just blathering because I'm just... I'm just a little overwhelmed with my life. And sometimes you have to take a pause in what you've been doing so consistently and so strong for a while and just say, I need a shift. And that's all that's happening.
You're taking a small sabbatical, and it's fine.
I'm doing a little shifting. And, I know it's good for me. I knew it had to happen. I just wasn't sure how extreme it had to be. But I'm so thankful to you that you just given me the grace to just be like, hey, girl, I'm going to just do something else for it.
Well, you know what? That's the thing is we were always friends first before we were business partners.
Totally.
And
we continue to be.
Exactly.
Still call her up and bother her. I'm like, are you working?
I'm your better help. And keepers, I will be your better help. And you guys,
I will be your better help.
Oh, please, I don't do that.
This episode not sponsored by BetterHelp.
No, BetterHelp, give us your money.
Fuck, man, if you would have came through by now, we'd have been balling. Somebody could have paid to edit this shit.
Last podcast on the left, boys. Hire us for your network.
Paid somebody to do
why?
all
I
this
don't know
stuff
why. I do know why I'm throwing it out to last podcast on the left because I want to bang Van Kissel, but also
You want to be on their network?
I want to be on their network so bad.
I'm gonna put that out in the I'm gonna put that out in the universe and in emails for you. This reminds me of like our episodes where we just get drunk and like record for like an hour. We're like, whatever. Okay, bye. But that's okay. I've been missing those silly episodes where we just get on and do that. I don't know. I think that's where we broke down with you guys and like really related because it's been a part of our little circle and our little relationship, and you can continue to do that. The website, on Instagram, like we're not going.
And when
away.
I come back, I will talk anal sex with you all day long.
Still down the street. I can still pop on for an episode. Just you can share what's going on in my life if it's not too embarrassing.
Please share embarrassing sex stories, though.
We've kind of wrapped this episode. It's been like the first episode. It's been like the episode 69. It's
fucking love you, and I can't wait to have you back.
Fucking love you. This is classic keeping it casual. We're just putting all the things in there. We love you, and thank you for listening forever and ever and always. And there's still more goodies on the
We'll
Patreon
catch you in 2022, bitches! Until next time, bye!